Well, here's an opinion that's probably gonna garner some hate. I think that Ant-Man is a better movie than the first Iron Man. And I'm not doing this just to get likes or just to get views. I'll probably put in the title why Ant-Man is better than Iron Man. And I will give you facts to back that up. And it is my opinion. This is what I think. So, one, there is a connection to the MCU in this movie. I'm not meaning in the after credit scene. In Iron Man, there is no connection to the MCU because he launches the MCU. Iron Man launches the MCU. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of slack when it comes to not tying any. Hey, you know what? You know what? Actually, I'm not gonna give it any slack for tying into the MCU. It should have tied into the MCU. It should have showed us other things in the movie that are going on to tie us into the MCU. And I'm not talking about after credit scenes because yeah, if we were talking about like the after credit scene isn't a part of the movie. It's an after credits scene. It's a scene that's not a part of the movie. Because if we were counting that, then yeah, he would have introduced some of the MCU because they've got that whole Nick Fury meeting with the Nick Fury meeting with Shield. No, the Shield's meeting with Nick Fury when Nick Fury's in his his living room. Sorry, it's really late, and I just decided that I'd make a video on this. Don't worry, an Ant-Man review is actually coming, but I want to finish this video real quick, just so that people will know about my opinion when they watch the review. But, anyways, besides that, I want to tell you something. The visuals in Ant-Man are fan-fucking-tastic. They are amazing. They are great. They are better than... You know what? I'm going to say this, too. This is going to sound a little weird. They rival Guardians of the Galaxies. And not because they look so realistic or believable, but they just have that style to them. They have, like, this style that looks really nice in big screens. In big screens? On the big screen. I saw the movie twice. And it still, when I watch those scenes, like the very first time that he gets small, or the very first, or all the times where he's learning about the ants, they all look good. They're all well shot. The CGI looks believable. It's got a nice style. It's got a really light tone to it. Very different from like the Avengers, how the blues are very, very they're more prominent in the shots. This movie is almost the exact opposite. All the reds and the yellows and the greens, they're all highlighted. This movie is very light and bright, and I love it. Reason number two. It didn't have to go into this big, huge battle to top the second Avengers, because literally, how much more action can you get from the second Avengers? They drop a city. Honestly, like in Captain America, Shield gets destroyed. In Guardians of the Galaxy, a whole like city gets destroyed. In Avengers: Age of Ultron, I think it's a whole country that they pick up and they slam down. And in this, they really brought it back to its roots. And I think it's a better fight scene than the last fight scene in Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2. In the original Iron Man, I think that the original Iron Man's fight scene was clunky. Now, I'm not knocking the original Iron Man. No. I love that movie. That's one of my favorite comic movies of all time. But I'm saying that Ant-Man just was better. And I'm going to bring up some things that people have had problems with Ant-Man, and then I'm going to bring up some things that I had problems with in Iron Man, and that's going to start now. They said that Ant-Man had a weak villain. Now, that was no Corey Roth, I think his name was, the Ross. He did a great job as Yellow Jacket, but yes, I will admit that some of his like plot and just his character development was kind of weird, and I know they kind of try to brush it off as like, oh, it's the Pym particles affecting his brain. Yeah, but it at parts did not make sense. But let me tell you, The Ironmonger, I think, is one of or is the worst villain in the Iron Man franchise, and I'm gonna tell you why. Whiplash, at least he had like this hate towards Tony Stark because Tony Stark's dad like ripped off his dad and all that. The Mandarin, or not the Mandarin, Guy Pearce's character, I forget what he's called, like Taron Kilth or Filth, whatever. Anyways, he had a reason to hate Tony because Tony was a complete dickhead to him, and he had good ideas. Ironmonger really has no reason to hate him, I would say. The only thing that I could think of is that Tony's kind of stealing the spotlight from him, but like he go like 75% of the way through the movie, he just decides that he's gonna straight up go kill Tony instead of waiting to replicate the Iron Man suit. Because is it Pepper Potts shows up and she's like, "Whoa, what you doing?" Then he chases after her and all that. Also, major like kind of thing that's like, what are you even thinking? Pepper Potts goes onto his computer and gets those files. Why would you keep those files? Like, why would you do that? This is a legitimate question. One, why would you keep them on your desktop? I don't know. Two, why would you have the files at all? Why would you have them? Like, honestly, I'm asking a question. And again, like I was saying, I love the first Iron Man movie. It's a great movie. But I just think Ant-Man's better. I think that the toned down fight scene was great. I think the visuals were great. I think the character development was great. Michael Douglas as Hank Pym is great. Evangeline Lilly as Hope Van Dyne is pretty good. And let me tell you, I was not so sure about Paul Rudd as Ant-Man. Not because I knew he had the acting chops to pull it off. Because, like, if you've seen the blooper reel from, I think it's 40-Year-Old Virgin, between him and I can't remember the other guy, but they basically just go back and forth telling each other, it's improvised, like, you know how I know you're gay jokes, and it's really funny. He didn't bring as much as that as I wished he would have, but it was still very funny. You also felt for this character. You felt, you know, that, like, he really did care for his daughter, that he really wanted to be there, that he really regretted getting into crime, and he really regrets doing it again, and that he really feels bad about doing that, and he really feels bad about basically having his daughter grow up without a father. You can tell all of that from his portrayal, and it is great. And the jokes, most of the jokes hit on just the right cues, and it's the only movie that's ever made me actually care about an ant dying. And the ant was named after me, so I mean, score. But yeah, so with all just those reasons put together, this is why I think Ant-Man is a better movie than Iron Man. Now, I'm not saying it's one of the... Well, I'm not saying it's one of the best in the cinematic universe. I say it probably ranks about 4th or 5th. Probably, I'm thinking like in the 5th out of all 12 of them. If we're including the Incredible Hulk, because it's technically part of the MCU. And then I guess out of 13, because then we'd have to include Big Hero 6. So I'm thinking it's like right around 5th or 6th for Marvel movies out of all, which is like halfway. That's pretty decent. But I think that it's a better movie than Iron Man. And trust, I'm not one of those people who like has no judgment, who just thinks that the newest Marvel movie is the best Marvel movie. It was kind of hard to back up that statement with the two great Marvel movies that came out last year, Captain America and Guardians of the Galaxy. This is the best Marvel movie. But yeah, I think it's definitely a better movie than Iron Man, because a lot of people have been comparing it to Iron Man, and people are saying, no, dude, Iron Man was way better. And in my opinion, that's just not true. And you can have your opinion, my opinion. We can go on our way. You can agree with my opinion. You can disagree with my opinion. Whatever. I hope that you click the like button. Please do not dislike the video just because of my opinion. But if you have to, I guess I understand. No, I actually don't understand, but you'll probably do it anyways. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I will have an Ant-Man review coming soon, so make sure you subscribe to see that. And then also, I'll see you guys later. Bye.